Hey, 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 happy Friday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope. So, this is not gonna start off as a good feeling story, but anyway, do want to mention that if this is your first time stopping in, the Daily Dope is pretty casual. It's not rocket surgery or anything like that. I just kind of talk about tabletop gaming news, sometimes other stuff as well, other pop culture items. But for the most part, I just chat about tabletop gaming news. That said, tonight is Friday, November 15th. This is episode 393 of the Daily Dope. So, because this is a live stream, chat is available. It's not on screen, so it kind of keeps some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But I do pay attention to chat, so if you are watching live, by all means, feel free, say howdy. Or if you've got a question or comment, chime in. I will respond. So I do see chat is off and running already. We've got Dan from No Enemies here, which I have something to mention to him in just a second. John Vogel's in chat. Flaming Huron's in chat. Casey Board Gamers is joining us once again. Very, very cool. John Vogel is actually mentioning something that I'm going to get to and open the show with. But I do want to mention that if you like the video, please give it a quick thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. And if you do, don't forget, ring that little bell, because it will not only notify you of when the stream goes live, but also tell you when my standalone videos get uploaded as well. So my unboxings, my reviews, my first look page throughs of RPGs, things like that. So let's, and Kevin Thorpe is in chat. Good to see you, Kevin. So let's start off with some sad news. I heard last night that game designer Chad Jensen lost his battle with cancer. And that was a big bummer. So I will be the first to admit, I had only met Chad once. That was at Con Sim World out in Tempe, Arizona. That was a few years ago. I chatted with him for just a few moments. But he was really nice. And I always heard that he was a really, really good guy. Which the reality is, the vast majority of people who are in the tabletop gaming industry are really cool people. Even Dan from No Enemies here seems like he's okay. But I hadn't been following updates on Facebook because I didn't actually friend Chad on Facebook. My Facebook, I don't have a lot of people who, I'm not like thousands of people. I think there's like 60 some people that I give access to my profile. So I knew he was sick. I thought things were working out, but unfortunately, that was not the case. So not only did we lose a fantastic designer of games such as the Combat Commander series, welcome to Centerville, which is a really fun kind of urban sprawl light game that kind of flew under everybody's radars, but I've reviewed it. It's really good. Urban Sprawl, of course, and Dominant Species, just to name a few. So not only did we lose a great designer, but we lost someone who, by all accounts, was a really, really good human being. And that is, it's not, I hate to hear that. I really don't like hearing that. So that kind of bummed me out last night. So we are not going to focus on that today because, tabletop gaming is about fun and me acting goofy half the time. But I did want to mention that, and I do want to send my sincerest condolences out to Kai Jensen, Chad's wife, as well as the rest of the family, and the folks at GMT who have worked with Chad for years. This is a pretty devastating blow. So, speaking of last night, right after that, thankfully, I was able to cheer up because the new season of The Man in the High Castle dropped on Amazon. So I am 4 episodes through that already. Yeah, I was up till about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I was like, no, I gotta get some sleep. I gotta turn this off. Like, I'll leave the rest for tomorrow, because I will definitely binge watch that. Funny enough, my mom is addicted to the show, and just recently, I got my dad watching it. In fact, he's watching Man in the Night Castle as I speak, because he's trying to catch up, because he wants to get to season 4, the final season. So, the Madman is popping in as well. So, it says they're a little behind, maybe some internet lag. I am not showing any dropped frames. So, and we are looking like we are running at about between 5,000 and 6,000 kilobits per second. So that's pretty good. That's, that'll get you the 1080p ish. I don't know. Sometimes the videos look really, really sharp on YouTube. When I watch them after the fact, check them out, make sure everything's okay. Sometimes they're a little not as sharp as I would have thought. But honestly, that is a YouTube thing. It is because, of course, as this gets uploaded, by the time we do, like, say, a 30-minute, 40-minute show, we're looking at that's like 3 gigs. And it is compressed on YouTube, that is for sure. So even if you download the show, which I don't know if you can or not. I know I can because I own the channel. But even if I download it, it's just the sharpness is lost. So anyway, I don't know. So Madman says, yeah, it's likely them. But other thing I wanted to mention before we jump into the news, for Dan, I did shoot a video over to you just a little while ago, a few moments ago. Don't know if you can use it because I know you got the show tomorrow. If anybody watching has not seen No Enemies Here, you will get all the dope on wargaming coverage from a variety of sources, including my pal Mo over at Mo's Game Table, as well as the Player's Aid. So there's a lot of folks out there covering wargaming. So Dan is always kind enough to give me a couple of moments to throw a video over there so he can share what I've got cooking here on the Daily Dope as well as the Gaming Gang. So anyway, if it's too late, man, it's all good. We're all cool. I had to take care of my dad last night. So, and of course it slipped my mind to get the video to you. So it is Friday. It is, we got a weekend ahead of us. I know I had mentioned on yesterday's show, I will be interviewing Todd McFarlane from Image Comics, who is actually a big wargamer. I think he's recently gotten into the hobby. And we're going to talk gaming, amazingly enough. We'll probably talk a little Image Comics and McFarlane toys and the Spawn movie and things like that. It was going to be on Monday. His assistant reached out and asked if we can reschedule it for a little later in the week. I don't know when yet, but yeah, it looks pretty cool. So that's all on track. So we should have some fun. So without further ado, we can jump on in and start talking about the news today. Got some interesting news pieces. I even have a computer game news piece, which I know I don't usually talk about computer games, but first off, WizKids has a new Dungeons & Dragons Icons of the Realm set of pre-painted miniatures that are coming early next year. I've got the dope on Descent into Avernus, Arcane, the Cruel, and the Dark Order. The Blood War rages on. Tiamat's general, Arcane the Cruel's descent into Avernus is triumphant. Now he is in possession of a dangerous artifact that could ultimately free the Dragon Queen and wreak havoc over the realms. Designed for use with the Dungeons & Dragons fantasy role-playing game, this figure set will help you flesh out your campaign. The set includes Archon the Cruel, his miniature bodyguard Torgar Steelfist, his Turtle Death Cleric Krull, which I'm surprised they're using the name Krull because, oh no, it's Kull. No, isn't it Krull, the Destroyer? Robert E. Howard? I don't know. There's also one of his berserkers, a summoned white Abysai, and his manticore pet, Chango. I thought there was a movie Chango Unchained, wasn't there? Designed by Arcan himself, good old Joe Manganiello. Is it Manganiello? Manganiello. I forget. You know who I'm talking about. You know, you see him on D&D stuff all the time. Anyway, he's actually worked with WizKids to give these powers to bring your epic story to life. Can you trust Arcan, the Cruel, and the Dark Order? Or will there be war? D&D Icons of the Realms, Descent in Avernus, Arcan the Cruel, and the Dark Order will include 6 pre-painted minis, a few of which look pretty darn big, and will carry an MSRP of $39.99 when this arrives in March next year. So, these look good. I like. Now, I gotta be honest, I have never seen these really close up lately. I did see some of the pre-paints 3 years ago from WizKids at Origins, and basically I got to see them in a case. Their pre-paints are getting better and better all the time. These look really, really nice. Only thing that I would ever kind of change up a little bit is their metallics are kind of weak. So there's an image of the white whatever it is with a big sword, and it just doesn't. The metallics just don't grab me. The rest of it looks great. The Manticore looks awesome, but if I were to get these, I would just repaint the metallics on it. Easy peasy, simple enough. So very, very cool. I like the look of these. So Kabuki Kid has joined us in chat as well. Got a good Friday chat going already. So I got another miniatures news piece. I know, 2 miniatures news pieces in one show. But Atomic Mass Games has released Marvel Crisis Protocol. I've got the dope. Marvel Crisis Protocol is a tabletop hobby miniatures game set in, you guessed it, the Marvel Universe. Players assemble, paint, and collect an ever-expanding line of highly detailed plastic miniatures representing iconic Marvel characters. Players choose characters from their collections to form their own Marvel-inspired dream team, and then pit their chosen forces against each other on an interactive tabletop where the very terrain itself can be thrown, crashed into, and destroyed during their super-powered showdown. Atomic Mass Games actually did a kind of launch video that gives you a really good look at some of the miniatures. No gameplay or anything like that. It's only about a minute long. But I did want to share it because it's pretty sweet. So let's take a peek.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Marvel's Tabletop Gamer. And we are finally back, guys. I'm sorry I have been a bit quiet over the last couple of weeks. I've had some personal issues that I've had to sort out. But we are now back with just over a month to go until the game actually releases, because we now know that Marvel Crisis Protocol will be released on November 15th. Now, I will do a couple of videos over the next coming days, guys, cover everything that I have missed out, such as the new trailer, which is this video now, which has revealed basically MODOK. Hulk has already been teased when he's got his unboxing by Atomic Mass Games out on their Twitch stream, so I'll go through that as well as some other stuff as well, so look forward to that. So yes, this is basically my return video, guys. I'm sorry, like I said, I am sorry that I haven't been able to do much, but all going back to normal now, so hope you guys are excited for the game as well. So I'll just leave you with the trailer, guys. So thank you guys so very much for watching, and as always, happy gaming.
Marvel Crisis Protocol is for 2 players, ages 14 and up, plays in around 45 minutes, and the core set carries an MSRP of $99.95. This is now out in stores. It is out. So looks pretty cool. I gotta say, these minis look excellent. Really nice sculpts. So here's one thing that I've noticed, and I don't know how many of you out there watching are miniatures gamers. I like playing minis. Don't get a chance to paint them. I say it all the time. I don't get enough time to paint miniatures as I once did. But These look really cool, but I also notice that the stands have a bit of a diorama look to them. So it looks as if, and Atomic Mass Games is essentially an Asmodee company that I believe was formed specifically for this game, because it's all that they've got, and this is the first thing they've ever done. But I think they're hedging their bets a little bit, because they want to get people who love painting miniatures but will not care about how the game plays. And that is why I think we've got a little bit of the diorama look to the bases. But I think they look sweet. I think they are fantastic. So we've got a brand new viewer hanging out in chat, Doug Roberts. Welcome aboard, Doug. Good to see you. Thank you very much for watching live and joining the gang in chat. So KC Board Gamers is saying that they're actually painting right now while watching me. That's what I used to do when I would paint. I'd throw on some movies I'd seen 100 times, and just kind of as background noise. Because I'm kind of background noise anyway. So I understand why you're doing that, Casey. I got you. I completely got you. All right, moving right along. As I mentioned, I don't talk much about computer games or console games very often. We'll pop some news up on occasion over on the Gaming Gang as well, but I've been messing around with the early access of Wildermuth, which is from Worldwalker Games, and I've got a wee bit of dope. You'll live 100 lives in the Yondering Lands. You'll untangle human stories and fight mustering forces who threaten peaceful folks. You'll gather threads of beauty, magic, and strife to weave your own ever-growing legend called Wildermuth. Each of your heroes has their own unique generated history, personality, appearance, and relationships with the other heroes, all of which can change over the course of the game as they encounter mysteries and overcome challenges. A hero may choose to trust the enigmatic wolf god, leading to a particularly hairy and hair-raising change in their appearance and combat abilities, or they may choose whether to pursue a romance with a fellow hero, giving each of them new advantages from fighting side by side. Encounters and events have permanent character-defining effects, letting you craft the arc of each character. Got one-shotted by that tentacled horror bear? Choose to let a hero fall back with a maiming that can open up opportunities for transformation later, or let them go down in a blaze of glory to be remembered for generations to come. There is an early access trailer. It's about 2 minutes long. It's going to show you some of the gameplay. I'm going to share that with you, and then I will be back. I'll tell you what I think of the early access so far. So let's give this a quick watch. Wildermuth is available right now on Steam as an early access title. You can get it for $19.99. So I have been playing Wildermuth a bit, not tons, but a bit, and I've enjoyed it. I thought it was really, really very interesting. The papercraft style to the artwork in the tactical battles is pretty cool. And it's being kind of promoted as Dungeons and Dragons meets XCOM. That is not how I would actually say, especially the XCOM aspect of it. Because to me, XCOM is like really in depth. And actually, XCOM is pretty intense too, especially when you kind of fall behind the curve. I don't see that with Wildermuth too much, but this is a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. One point that people might not care for so much is a bit of like the kind of almost like a comic strip of the story playing out. So it tends to be a little slower paced, maybe not as quick as people would like to see as far as how the story is playing out. But I think it's really, really nicely done. And it is pretty polished for being in early access. Now, I noticed that Flaming Huron has been watching a Let's Play of it. So that's very cool. So, yeah, it is a very interesting game. I was offered a review code for it, which I already had a review code. So I have reached out to the PR company that is representing this game. And I'm going to see if I can maybe get a couple of giveaway review codes. Well, not review codes, but game codes. See if I can get a couple of giveaways. Maybe do a little contest with this. So, yeah, Flaming Huron says, yeah, I think more XCOM due to the enemies getting tougher the longer the game goes on. There are a lot of games. Most games are like that. That as you progress, even just, role-playing games like Divinity and well, even if we go back to like Baldur's Gate and stuff like that, you start out and you're fighting giant rats and giant spiders, and eventually you're taking on like white dragons. So, but I like this. This is very cool. Very, very unique style to it. So it's not the same old by any stretch of the imagination. So anyway, there's a little discussion right now. Let me jump out here. There we go. So a little discussion about South Park. So I thought this was, now I gotta be honest, I don't watch South Park anymore. I'll catch it every once in a while, but I mean, I go so far back with South Park that I actually had the video that got them the show, which I'm sure folks have seen over the years. That was my first exposure to them before the show even came out. But, I stopped watching it religiously maybe about 8 years ago. But I had heard from Stephen Bonacore. He was like, oh my gosh, South Park last night, they were talking about Board Game Geek, and they were talking about the Dice Tower. They mentioned Tom Vassel's name. I know they showed, I heard that, wasn't it Twilight Struggle? They showed Twilight Struggle. They were playing Twilight Struggle or something. So I'm going to have to check the episode out. I will check it out. It's not, I don't have anything against South Park. It was just, it was getting to the point where it was kind of just the same thing week in, week out. So, yes, the spirit of Christmas, says Kabuki Kid. Right. When Jesus and Santa Claus battle it out. It's pretty funny. So, Dan's asking, is Todd McFarlane misspelled, by the way? Dan knows I tease him all the time. He's a wargamer. Yes. So, if you, real quickly, I'll mention, I talked about it a little bit on last night's show, but if you tuned in a little late, then you missed the story. I'll make it super quick. So, when we were at San Diego Comic-Con, my brother Greg and our friend David and myself went over to the Image Comics booth because Todd McFarlane was going to do some signings. She doesn't do very often. So I told the guys, I said, we better go over there early and see if you need a wristband, because even though we're press and we have press passes, doesn't mean we can do whatever we want. So a lot of times when they do signings and things like that, you have to actually get to the exhibit area that company's at first thing when those doors open and get yourself a wristband. And then they tell you, okay, come back at like 3, whatever. So we went over there, and sure enough, you needed a wristband. But Todd McFarlane had showed up early and he was signing, but he wasn't over where he was supposed to be signing. He was just over like on the store side of his exhibit area. So we got in line, and sure enough, he knew me. And because I had mentioned, I said, hey, Todd, you may not remember this, but I actually interviewed you a couple of years ago for your Walking Dead like construction sets that they came out with, which were actually pretty cool. And he's like, oh yeah. And then all of a sudden he kind of looked up at me, and he's like, I know you. So he's like, I watch your show all the time. I watch your videos on YouTube. And it turns out, yes, Todd McFarlane does play, he's a war gamer. He plays war games. Now, I'm not sure when he got into it. This is something we're going to discuss. But it was really funny because he's talking about different stuff, and he's asking, what do I recommend? Anything new we should keep an eye out for? And of course, there are these other people behind us waiting to try to maybe get stuff signed before he leaves to go do the real signing. I'm kind of like, So yes, Todd McFarlane reached out to do an interview. So he contacted me over on Board Game Geek, amazingly enough. So yes, so we are going to be checking that out. So Kabuki Kid says, Todd McFarlane, the man who changed the toy industry. Very true. He certainly changed the landscape of action figures and the kinds of action figures that come out. I used to have a bunch of the McFarlane toys, like horror figures and stuff like that. Right, there you go. Kabuki Kid's saying the same thing. Look at figures before Todd got into the game. So here's the thing between us, right? So, there aren't that many people who watch this show anyway, right? So here's the question that I have, because I had mentioned this to Mr. McFarlane. I don't know. I can't really call him Todd, right? So when we were chatting at Comic-Con, I had asked, how come you haven't gotten into releasing board games? I mean, you think it's a perfect fit, right? I mean, come on. So I would not be shocked if and he had said he'd been kind of bouncing the idea around. So I would not be shocked that maybe we are going to see McFarlane Games in maybe not the too far off future. I don't know. That is something I am going to ask him during our interview. So it really kind of strikes me as our interview is just going to be kind of a chat, kind of a conversation, which basically, if you follow the gaming gang, when I interview people, it's kind of a conversation. It's not, here's a question, here's an answer, here's a question, here's an answer, here's a question. One thing I will point out, though, is if there's something that you would like me to ask Todd McFarlane that is not some asinine crap, comment below, and I will do my best to try to get that into our conversation. All right, so I still have a couple of news pieces left. So, Bundle of Holding does have a brand new RPG offer. Just popped up. I've got the dope on Necropolis 2350. Adventurer! This Necropolis 2350 bundle presents the campaign setting of grimdark 24th century horror from Triple Ace Games for Pinnacle Entertainment's fast, furious, fun tabletop role-playing game, Savage Worlds. On Salus, humanity's last habitable world, Knights of the Third Reformation Church and soldiers of the Union of Corporations battle an onslaught by the undead Rephium. Like they take the roles of impalers, incinerators, preachers, and Templars in a desperate struggle against extinction. We're prepared to present this Necropolis 2350 offer on short notice to help Triple Ace's prolific creative director and longtime Bundle of Holding supporter, Paul Wiggy Wade Williams, who last month suffered a debilitating stroke. In addition to Necropolis, Wiggy's popular Savage World settings include Hellfrost, Slipstream, 50 Fathoms, Weird Wars Rome, Daring Tales of Adventure, Leagues of Adventure, and many more. For just $7.95, you'll get all 4 titles in the starter collection with a retail value of $49.50 as PDF ebooks, including the complete Necropolis 2350 Player's Guide and Setting Book, 6 sets of full-color print-and-fold Necropolis figure flats, and the Necropolis 2350 GM screen. If you pay more than the threshold price of $20.63, again, I swear, I think they just roll some percentile dice and go, there's the change, 63, okay, 2063. You'll level up and also get our entire bonus collection with 6 more supplements worth an additional $64, including 4 character guides, the 200-page Necropolis Adventure Compendium, and the Necropolis 2351 through 55 update, a major expansion that pushes the timeline to still more hellish depths. Last month, Triple Ace Games creative director and prolific role-playing designer Paul Wiggy Wade Williams suffered a stroke. Tag director Robin Elliott says Wiggy had 2 smaller strokes in the summer and has not been well for several months. He suffered a stroke 3 weeks ago that has affected his ability to communicate. His current condition is stable, but his language center was hit and he struggles to complete sentences. He is unable to type and using a computer is difficult. But we hope with some months of recovery and speech therapy, he will be able to get back his typing and writing skills, which are crucial to his work. Now, ordinarily, 10% of each bundle of holding purchased goes to a charity. This time, this offer's benefit is going to be assigned to Triple Ace Games to help Tag and Wiggy in a tough time. So I did want to share this news piece. Of course, number one, it's a bundle of holding, and you always get a fantastic deal from Bundle of Holding. Granted, I am not familiar with this Necropolis 2350. I am familiar with like 50 Fathoms, League of Adventurers. Good stuff. It is really good stuff. So I want to just point out that, as gamers, we got to help each other out sometimes, right? I mean, I almost died almost 2 years ago from a heart attack. So we got to help each other out. We got to kind of band together sometimes, right? So I wanted to share this. I have already gotten the Bundle of Holding. I don't know if I'll review this stuff or not, but, I'm looking to help out. So I wanted to share that with everybody. Finally, Dragon Turtle Games have released the first adventure book for the Carbon 2185 cyberpunk role-playing game, and here's the dope on Interlinked. A new experimental synth was injured and left for dead following an industrial accident at a food processing plant. Yes, McDonald's. The Nightingale model was slated for disposal and shipped back to Villeneuve Robotics Reclaiming Facility. On arrival, however, the synth was secretly removed from the facility. Unknown to the management of either facility, the chief mechanic at Frisco's, Thomas Willie Williams, has established a relationship with the synth and can't bear to see her destroyed. She reaches out to the cyberpunks for help in getting revenge on the corporations that have abandoned her and to free her trapped synth brethren. She resents humanity and especially the corporations that created her, but she knows she needs allies in the process of gaining that freedom. Interlinked places the cyberpunks in an escalating series of events that starts as a simple smash and grab job and ends with the punks taking a crucial role in a full-blown synth rebellion. Spoilers! There are twists and turns along the way that nobody will see coming and will keep the cyberpunks on their toes. This series of missions has been designed to feel like an episodic drama and features recurring characters and plot lines that draw the cyberpunks into the drama and get them personally invested in the story. This mission book is suitable for cyberpunks starting at either first or second level. The 60-page PDF is available right now at DriveThruRPG for $12.99. Gotta mention, personally, I think that's a little pricey, but this Carbon 2185 seems to have taken hold of people. So this is brand new. I think this might have come out yesterday. I don't think it was today, but I do know this is brand new. I like the art style from what I've seen of this Carbon 2185. So as I mentioned, the PDF is available at DriveThruRPG, which of course, when I talk about DriveThruRPG, keep in mind the Gaming Gang and thus the Daily Dope are affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites, of which DriveThruRPG is one. So to help support the Gaming Gang and the Daily Dope, if you are going to swing over to, say, DriveThruRPG, please stop by thegaminggang.com first, click on one of our banners, and that way, if you do make a purchase, I get a wee itty bitty piece of that pie. But you know what? All of that adds up, and it really helps out. And as I mentioned from time to time, almost always, what we get in from, like, I guess can we call it commission? I don't know. From the drive-thru sites actually pays for the hosting of the website every month. And I do not have cheapo GoDaddy hosting either. So anyway, so that is it for the news tonight. Dan from No Enemies Here is rocking on out. Good to see you again, Dan. Catch you next week. I will check out No Enemies Here tomorrow. So that is very cool. So Doug Roberts says, heart healthy equals the game of life. Literally. Yeah. That's for sure. Very, very true. Yes. And of course, you know, smoking for, what was it? 30 years, 35 years almost. Didn't really help. Well, that's gone though. I do miss it. I gotta be honest. I know. And it's weird too, right? Yeah, it's gonna, I don't know. All right, so that is it for the news for tonight. Do want to mention I got some videos coming up. I should have some stuff finished over the weekend. Some things popped up. I have the pieces of my review of the Midderlands, as well as the Midderlands Expanded, all done. I just need to stitch everything together and get it uploaded. So that will be going on this weekend. I will also have a review of Control Group, which is a pretty cool, pretty sweet adventure supplement for Delta Green. I just noticed some chat popping up and kind of distracted me, kind of threw me for a loop for a second. And of course, I will also have a review of Eberron Rising from the Last War before it goes on sale on the 19th. So I'm doing my damnedest to have the review out on Sunday. Give people plenty of advance notice. I'll give you a hint. I'm not done with it yet. Personally, I like it. It's going to piss off some people because from what I understand, Wizards of the Coast promised a bunch of stuff and it ain't in here. And I guess there's a lot of things from previous editions of D&D as far as Eberron that have been tweaked or changed or left out. But me, I don't have a dog in the fight, right? I played Advanced Dungeons and Dragons and then really didn't look at the system. I looked a little at second edition. Kind of read the core rule books over the years for the new editions of that, but I didn't delve into it. So I don't really have a, fighting interest and be like, oh, damn you, I can't believe you changed. So, and I will make sure that when I do my review, I do not show every single page of the book because I have some whiner complaining that I'm allowing pirates, tens of thousands of pirates, to get the book for free, which is ridiculous because within hours of this going on sale on the 19th, there will be a fully scanned, professional-looking PDF out on the Chan sites. So nobody's using my video to make a pirate copy of a game. Dummies. Anyway, so I'll also have an unboxing of MBT 4C MG BG. Try to say that 5 times fast, right? And Stalingrad 42. I know there are a lot of war gamers out there looking forward to this. This looks pretty Pretty crunchy, pretty traditional kind of hex encounter game. We will take a peek at this. And then, as I reach over as everything goes falling down, I have stuff stacked all around me here at the Duct Tape Studios. One day I will take a picture. I swear, I will take a picture and people will be like, really? That's where you shoot your videos at? Anyway, I am going to take a look at the turn 0 rules for Twilight Struggle. And that'll be pretty fast. But, all right, so let's see. Finishing up in chat here. No, I do not chew gum or vape. I don't do any nicotine whatsoever. I was told by my cardiologist that nicotine actually makes your platelets stick together, which is not good. So I don't want to have to go and have like open heart bypass surgery. So even though I don't believe, anyway. So can D&D be played solo? Yes, Doug, it can. What you might want to take a look at is now there's nothing really official from Wizards of the Coast, but if you go to say like Dungeon Masters Guild, which is one of those one bookshelf websites, there are like solitaire adventures and things like that. If we go way back, way back to Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, there were actually rules in the back of the book, if I remember correctly, that was kind of like playing it solitaire. And it's basically random tables and stuff like that. What I can also recommend is 4 Against Darkness. That's another game that's out there, and that is a solitaire game, and you kind of have, your party of 4 characters, and you're rolling up. There's tons and tons of supplements out there, so you might want to check that out, Doug, because it's pretty entertaining. I've not played all the stuff. Let's see. Yes, so Kabuki Kid's saying, yeah, there were some solo D&D modules back in the day. There's more now. There really is. Flaming Heron points out that they had a sale on DM's Guild. I will also point out there is still that Star Trek sale from Modifius Entertainment. It ends on Sunday, but you can save 40% off any of the Star Trek RPG products from Modifius, and they are excellent. They really are. Let's see what else. I want that game. Main Battle Tank. Good stuff. It is good stuff. Check out my review. Played every edition since 1982, says the Madman. Yep. We go way back, my friend. Let's see. Yep, like a random dungeon crawl in the back of the Dungeon Master's Guide. Yeah, that's why I swear I remember, because my best friend Elliot Miller, who I met freshman year in high school, who was also a gamer, although voiceofe.com, he really doesn't do anything anymore. But he was part of our Extra Life charity event earlier in the month. That's how he got into playing Dungeons and Dragons. He would actually randomly generate stuff playing by himself. So when he met myself and some other friends in high school, we were the first people he'd ever met who actually played D&D and other stuff. So, pretty wild. All right, so that's it for tonight's show. 45 minutes again. It's kind of what I aimed for. I know after the fact, people don't watch the whole 45 minutes. I think on average they watch about 15 minutes of this. So, probably jump right to the news, watch the news, and then get out. Anyway, as I like to always point out, if you like this video, please give it a quick thumbs up. And be sure to subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel. If you do, don't forget, ring that little bell, because it will not only notify you when this stream goes live, within about a minute or two, it'll also tell you when my standalone videos get uploaded. So if you're not checking those out, you're missing a lot. And of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. And how do you know the drill? Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. So, for those of you who joined me in chat tonight, including first-timer Doug Roberts, thank you very much for keeping me company. Always appreciate that. And of course, if you do watch the show on Memorex, I got a place in my heart for you too. I appreciate anybody stopping by to watch the show. I will be back on Monday, so everybody enjoy your weekend. Have a very safe weekend as well. And of course, until next time, Happy trails. Zoobadoobadoobadoo-boo-boo. Zoobadoobadoobadoo-boo. Zabba-dabba-dabba-dabba-bum. Zibba. Whoa, hey. I didn't realize that you were still here. Well, if that's the case, then allow me to share the following information with you that I only have 20 seconds to do. So let's all take a deep breath. So, if you would like to subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel, please click right here. If you want to check out the latest episode of the Daily Dope, click right here. And if you'd like to check out a randomly selected standalone video, by all means, click right here. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and thanks for watching.